Bytes. I couldn't see.
Oh.
Because I sure can't see over there.
Okay, go ahead.
That's Mike.
That's Toya.
And this is Ted Beats and Bytes.
How you doing today, Toya? How you doing?
I'm trying to stay dry because it's starting to rain outside. I'm just saying.
Live in Florida. It could be snowing 27 degrees.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's a lot of nothing to talk about today.
Is that because the holidays are coming?
So
people like on some other, you just want to drink, eat, and hang out with family?
I don't know. I mean, you're very close to the burnout season. I know a lot of people out there going through it. Y'all keep fighting, though. Keep fighting the good fight. It's almost coming. I don't know what's coming to you, but whatever it is, it's coming. So couple of quick things. Bright line. I'm
not laughing at that.
Somebody got killed again today. Look, people, you're not going to outrun the train. I think from the thing down to back up with the train coming through is maybe 3 minutes. If you was late for work, them 3 minutes, if it was going to cost you your job, they was going to fire you one day anyways. It's not worth it. Quit trying to beat the train. Like, that bright line is moving about 80, 85, 90 miles per hour. So just stop doing it.
I mean, so my thing is, were people really trying to beat trains a lot before? And they just, like, why is this a trend?
I think the train, well, remember we had the slower train. You had the cargo train that's moving all the rocks and all the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I guess maybe they're just not expecting the train to be coming 80 miles per hour. But
right, but why try with a high-speed train? Like,
I guess maybe they don't know it's high speed.
That's so crazy. Rest in peace to him. And
it was right down the street from our house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Alicia. That's why you had to take the detour. Someone got killed. The family was there mourning and everything. My paint guy told me. The body shop where I get my car done. A body shop right by the train tracks. Oddly enough.
Jeez.
So he told me about the whole thing. Shit.
All right. Well, way to start, Mike.
I know, right? But on some good news. So Apple has a thing on their website. Apple has remixed it. They don't call it diversity and inclusion. They call it inclusion and diversity. And that may not mean a lot to a lot of people, but I think that's a very unique approach because even if you have the diversity, if the inclusion isn't the primary focus, a lot of things won't matter. So just some quick stats on Apple's, and this has nothing to do with the iPhone 11 or the fact that Apple decided to drop a 16-inch MacBook Pro.
Right, I'm gonna say that new MacBook. You gonna get it?
Depending on how taxes and how much money we got left over. I really don't need another MacBook. I need another desktop, to be honest. I don't want to be the dude with two laptops. 53% of new hires in the U.S. are from historically underrepresented groups in tech. These underrepresented groups include women and people who identify as Black, Hispanic, Native American, or Native Hawaiian, or other Pacific Islander. I don't know how I feel about those who identify as. So now
I mean, they check the box. That's what that means.
Okay. The next generations of leaders is definitely more diverse. Apple is a multi-generational company with employees from the age of 18 to 87. 45% of the leaders at Apple are that are under 30 are women. At Apple, inclusion and diversity means bringing everybody in. They welcome all voices and belief. And right now, Apple has 9% Black and 14% Hispanic for their employees. And only 50%, they're almost at a minority majority. Only 50% of their employees are actually white, Caucasian. So Apple has actually made progress, and that's a shift of a 5% change ever since 2014.
So what's interesting about the checking of the box, which is why they have the people who identify as, because there are people who are of Hispanic descent who sometimes check white. So a lot of times, you know, when you get into race, right, Black and white are made up constructs, right? White is not a race.
Correct.
You have Italians, you have German, you have English, right? You have nationalities. And then so white has evolved over the years to include other people based on how they want to represent their numbers. So I wonder of this,
have something to do with it,
right? Of this 50% or whatever the sort of white population is, like, what's the actual breakdown of that? And are there potentially white Hispanics who no longer maybe aren't attached to their Hispanic heritage anymore because they've been in the country for a long time and they maybe now check the white box? That would be interesting to know. Which is why, going back to your point, that's why they have the people who identify as, because you could identify as whatever you want technically, depending on what box you want to check.
I definitely think it's one of those things for a deeper dive, but just not for us to do.
Yeah, not right now. But I'm just saying, that's something to think about. And that's why you need to fill out the census.
Apple, we would love to know. Oh, man. Let's just put that. Oh, you know what? We got to do a whole special on the census.
Yeah, and we got to bring Bullard.
Yeah, so just be prepared for that. Our 2020 census show is going to be crazy. That's way
April
too far
1st.
away for people to remember that. We ain't even in December yet. People barely know when Thanksgiving is this year.
Right, what's the menu?
Right. Who bringing the mac and cheese? No more likes. So IG has been rethinking how likes contribute to toxicity, and so this is just funny to me. Your whole platform was based off of sharing pictures and likes, and I get it. Some of you guys are really out there getting depressed, as I call them, the like hunters, the people that just sit around and watch the likes, and it's causing some form of depression. But after testing an option to hide likes in 7 other countries, IG is about to do the same for some users in the US. Once the change is implemented, the total number of likes on posts will disappear from IG's main feed, profile pages, and permalink pages. The account owner will still be able to see their like count, but followers won't. At this time, we don't know whose likes will be hidden. IG has tested this in other countries, and affected users saw a message at the top of their IG feed notifying them that they were part of the test. According to one study, IG is most detrimental social networking app for young people's mental health. I did not know that. Definitely would have thought it was Snapchat. The majority of the people in previously tested countries who have been interviewed think this move will improve well-being on the app. But other users and psychologists don't believe hiding likes will fix everything. Definitely won't, because Trump still tweets. Users can still see their own likes and feel bad if their posts don't perform well. Celebrities and influencers, Kim Kardashian, who generate income based on likes, have started voicing their opinions. Nicki Minaj said she will stop posting on IG if likes are gone. She should stop rapping.
Come on, Nicki.
In a video posted by Cardi B, she raised the fact that the nasty comments are more of an issue than likes when it comes to users' well-being. Kim Kardashian, queen of social media, thinks taking away likes would be beneficial for people's mental health. Your husband. So how do you think this is going to play out?
So we've talked about this whole thing about IG taking the likes away a few times. And now that we're seeing it starting to happen and people are starting to voice it and get concerned, right? Because I think that just speaks to how much importance people have put on likes and growing their sort of feeds. And then the sort of, because, right, a like is basically the public saying back to you, I approve of this post. So now if you can't quite flaunt it, you know what I mean? So now it's like, oh, wait, I have no, it's like the emperor with no clothes on, right? So, oh, you're seeing me kind of naked. Like, how can you judge my social currency if you can't see what it is? So then are you posting for other people or are you posting for yourself? Where's your true sort of sense of who you are and what you're doing in the space? I found it interesting that Kim K was actually like, take the likes away. That was interesting to me because I read an article earlier today too that kind of talked about it. Nikki, I'm like, but then you just retire, so what? Aren't
Nikki
you trying
retired?
to? Yeah, Nikki retired. She said she wanted to raise a family.
Oh, she still rap?
Listen, I'm not up on celebrity news like that, but the last time I heard a few weeks ago, she retired, and she was like, she just want to have a family now. So then, what you not doing IG for anymore? You're like, you know, you about to be a mom.
Pictures of her baby, and she gonna want everybody to say her baby cute. So
I think it's a good experiment. Let's see what happens. But
now my deeper dive into this is, how does this affect the influencer marketing? And, you know, I really think in the long run, this creates an additional stream of revenue for Instagram, because you're going to have to make another platform to actually be able to share your likes and everything with the the right people, because it's too easy to screenshot something and to
Photoshop
in
some
your
numbers.
right? So how do you start? And actually, somebody called me about this earlier this week.
To validate?
Yeah, how do you validate information to
Yeah.
start distribution? Actually, that was Amy Dawkins. Me and Amy talked about this. How do you actually send over the information? And Joy Anderson hit me up about this. And Tish. Like 3 people hit me up about this, but do they start making money by making a whole nother platform, or will somebody else make the platform? Is it an opportunity for somebody else to make a platform to verify likes, or just likes, and really just how much of an influence they have?
Right. So there's an app that you can add to your Shopify store called User Gems, and it kind of does that, right? So it goes through all of your users or your customers, and it actually gives you their social status. So you can see like their LinkedIn numbers. You can see like some of that other stuff. So maybe they will add likes, or like, you know, what is their sort of like average number of likes per post. So then that way they're pulling in the data and you can see it, because the whole point of User Gems is to basically like show you if you have influencers in your customer base already. So then that way you can reach out to them to possibly partner and do some marketing. So I think that there's another opportunity, to your point, to sort of leverage the data in other ways. But I think that it's a great thing to a certain extent, because now it sort of takes that pressure off, and people could just enjoy posts, and you could just post and not have to be so concerned with like, oh, my post only got 25 likes.
Okay,
like,
so now that we got that far, now does that become even more data that's being collected by Facebook?
well, they was collecting it anyway. It's just that you can't see it. The user can't see it, but the owner, you know, the profile owner, they can see it.
So now will people, so I guess, is this like a bandwagon thing? Will people like stuff just because other people are liking it, or will you actually like it for your, because like now, I know for me, I strategically like things because I'm trying to readjust my stream, because I was just getting a whole bunch of garbage. I had to mute a lot of people. I didn't really want to unfollow them, but I definitely had to mute them. So I'm wondering, how will this start affecting if people
Your
don't
algorithm.
realize, if you don't like it, you won't get to see certain content.
Yeah, that's true. And will like even be necessary, right? So if you can't see likes from the user perspective, then now I'm just scrolling through like a magazine feed, kind of almost.
I wonder if it's a bad response, how long will it take for Instagram to reverse everything? How long will it take for them to add But to add to that, in closing, Nikki took back her retirement comment.
Oh, she did?
Yes.
Oh, well, see, look, I told y'all I wasn't up to date.
She was just mad about negative posts.
Child, listen. See, again, Nikki, you've been affected by social
basically-
media. It's affecting your mental health.
So basically now Nikki is Little Kim.
In what way?
Like they switching roles, like the hate, the I'm going to retire, and now she don't have to come back. She do a comeback tour.
Yeah, she maybe do a reality show on VH1 and cruise around
With
the
all
Caribbean
the
with her
washed up
friends.
celebrities. And why does everybody still take pictures with Peter? Why is that old man so important?
Oh, you mean from Real Housewives?
Yeah.
Apparently, Peter doing things out here.
Lame. You know what?
Listen, I'm a mom.
I was about to
I don't
say.
even know
Let
anymore.
me tell you one thing I never imagined when I was in my 20s. Being 40 plus and talking about going to the clubs and opening the club. I never thought about, like, I can't imagine when I was, because my parents are only 18 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine when I was 32 hearing my parents talking about getting ready to go to the club on Friday and Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's if that's your life, right? If you're into the whole club scene,
grow the
entertainment
hell
scene.
up. Go watch
I don't know.
Go watch a play, vote, do something. So, Google checking. According to the Wall Street Journal, Google is planning to offer checking accounts. So basically, Google pretty much has all your life summed up in some form of data. So
Now they want your money.
it might as well take your accounts too. So within this Google Pay app, the project name, which is very ironic and kind of creepy, is Cache.
Or cash, depending on how you decide to pronounce it. I say cash.
I say Cache because they
Tarjay.
they taking all your information. And for people that don't know what a cache is, when we say cleaning your cache,
Right.
Cache is the basis of allowing data to load up faster because the data has been stored into a temporary drive or a temporary space. So basically, when you visit the same sites over and over again,
Right.
certain graphics and certain information is already stored in your desktop.
And it loads faster.
Also, the thing that most men try to delete when they go to history because they've been visiting Pornhub. So that's what the cache is for. So the project name Cache could launch as early as next year and is in partnership with Citigroup. I would have thought JP Morgan Chase. But in a small Stanford University credit union, because Stanford needs more money. The banks will handle the financial back end and regulatory compliance, basically making sure they don't get arrested. The project's goal is to help more people do stuff in a digital way online. Now, Toya, before I continue reading this, I'm just wondering, is there a shortage of people doing stuff online? Because if there is, I've missed this because I know I pretty much don't go to a grocery store anymore except for sport. I go to the grocery store just to be able to walk the aisles. I pretty much don't leave with anything because everything has been ordered through Instacart, Amazon, or some shape or form where somebody else has done it for me.
Yeah, I mean, my banking is pretty digital now as it is. I don't know. I would kind of want to know how they're going to change that to make it more digital, right? And even when you think about it, so you have Capital One, they're actually redefining the banking experience by having the cafes, which are dope.
Yeah, they're pretty much like a Starbucks now.
Right. So Google, so how are you making it more of a digital experience when everything is digital now, right? I have Chase on my phone.
Right.
You barely use your cards anymore. If you just got an app, you could just swipe and do whatever else. So I'm interested, but what I saw in another article was Google was like, yeah, so this would be great for us because we can now have your data and we could know how you shop because now we see the
everything,
pay side of
every
it.
transaction, even when it's not online.
Because a lot of times people use like Google Pay online when they're like doing e-commerce shopping. But I wonder how many people actually like use it on your phone. Like I don't use my Apple Pay.
But I wonder if it's going to come with any form of like interest. But I don't use Citigroup either. So the wave of the giants jumping into financial services because they aren't really creating anything anymore. Earlier this year, Apple did launch the Apple Card, which I was going to talk about, which is currently being investigated for discriminating against women, which was a conversation that was brought up with Sherelle Dorsey, the plug. So I was wondering how many other people were going to talk about this. I want to know, why is Apple Card discriminating against women when most of the time women control the money in the household and they spend more money?
Right.
Apple, we was
Women
just
do the
talking about
shopping.
y'all good earlier, but I don't get that part. Also this year, Facebook announced Libra, of course, with their cryptocurrency. Earlier this month, about 6 of those companies dropped out of Facebook's Libra association because Mark is a crook. And yesterday, Facebook announced Facebook Pay, a service from sending money through its network and the app. So basically now
They're getting in the PayPal space.
Hot Girl Summers will no longer be Cash App me and Vimo. Me, it's just going to be Facebook Pay Me. And
No, I don't
Amazon
want
is
Facebook to do
reportedly
that.
looking into offering checking accounts to teens.
Yeah. So I don't want Facebook to be my Cash App or my Venmo. Like I don't. Why? I don't know.
It seems to me almost like forced monopolies that are coming.
Yeah.
And
It's like everybody want to do everything. What happened to specializing? Like,
I want to see how this plays out because to me, that's almost like if Wells Fargo called us and was like, hey, you can use your same login to go to our social network, the WF.
all right, and what am I doing there?
What the fuck would be my response? It was just, I think y'all doing too much. I mean, we've talked about this at Digital Grass. We've talked about this at Medium 4. And the question becomes, what's your number? Like how much money do you need to make to be happy? Like if you had to get to a number and you had to pick a number and you come up with a number of what it would take to be financially stable, to do even the little things you like to do. Like my thing is either this 350Z or a Porsche 911, right? Mm-hmm. Those are the 2 things I want. Pay off a house and maybe have an apartment in Atlanta. So there's a number that I have in mind of how much it would take to do that, and then be able to just paint and only deal with clients that spend a certain amount of money, right? Mm-hmm. But there's a number. There's an actual number. Mm-hmm. Does Google and Facebook, do they need to make more money?
No.
Because I don't see them paying their employees more. I've never seen nobody at Facebook be like, bro, if you would have saw that raise we just got because of those stocks, like, what's the number?
Right, and Mark can't stay off of Capitol Hill, so I think he need to slow down.
Like Mark need an apartment at Trump Hotel as much as he been on Capitol Hill. Bezos, he ain't paying no taxes. Like, how much money does one man need before it's just too much?
Yeah.
And my number yearly isn't even a 7-figure number. It's a 6-figure number on the lower half of the 6 figures.
Yeah.
How much money do you need? Quit doing everything.
Or how much world domination? I feel like it's like an episode of Pinky and the Brain where they just like world domination. Like, let's go conquer the world. Pinky.
Everybody wants everything. Jeez. What are we gonna do tonight?
Right.
Same thing we do every night.
Try to take over the world.
First of all the kids
have a seat.
It's just not working. It's getting kind of scary. Well, first of all, if you're watching our show and you don't know about Pinky and the Brain,
you should be in our age demographic anyway.
You shouldn't be watching this show. You probably don't get half of the stuff we talk about anyway. But now with Disney Plus, and since Nickelodeon now wants to make a streaming service with Netflix,
and one more person come out with a streaming
this
service.
Ain't even on the. This is one of them days. This ain't even on the notes. I don't want no more streaming services. I'm not downloading anything else unless somebody else sending me some free passwords.
Right? Can y'all bundle, please?
Y'all need to work this out. Become friends, because 8 different packages at $12. I'm right back to my cable bill.
Exactly. Defeats the whole purpose.
And I can't even watch all this stuff.
No.
Hulu right now is killing everybody. But to get everything on Hulu, you still back to
you got to add up. Yeah. You got to do all the add-ons. Y'all need to sit down and rethink this. They just want their money. That's all. They just
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing, but it's the same thing as having a bill. So, I mean,
exactly.
Right now, to have all these services and y'all trying to divvy everything up, it's about to be $125. That's pretty much
right.
The only difference is now we're not paying the extra $5 for the little boxes around the house, which Xfinity just decided to give away free streaming boxes, which ain't gonna do nothing but collect more data.
Right.
Because Xfinity couldn't get their team to work out the app, which is stupid. So in South Florida Tech, speaking of streaming services, Spotify has released a version of its own Magic Leap headset. The app will show a location awareness, 3-dimensional Spotify interface on top of your world with the ability to automatically change playlists as you move between rooms. A Spotify premium subscription is required for use. Earlier this year, Magic Leap added the ability for its headsets to play music in the background while using other apps. Spotify is the first app to make use of this functionality. Today's announcement comes a few days after reports that Magic Leap is embarking on another big round. Again, what is your number? Of funding, which will become its Series E. I didn't even know they did Series E. Like that's a car to me. That's a Mercedes at that point. Once completed, Magic Leap has previously raised around $2.6 billion. We're not going to get into Magic Leap's raise. That's just crazy, but.
So what? So you walk around with the headset and it plays music.
I guess you just reach out and change your playlist because it's just too much.
Just plug it in, have it playing. I don't know. I just feel like wearing technology. I don't know. Like for me, my AirPods give me headaches sometimes. Like all these waves in your body, close to you. Is it a good idea? I don't think so. I really don't think so. That's a lot. That's a lot of technology. I'm not huge into wearable technology. You know them. Put it out there and let me control it that way.
You know those methicillin or whatever those commercials that come on.
Mesothelioma.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those commercials about 15 years from now.
Right.
You had a Magic Leap headset and you are now experiencing headaches, tumors.
Exactly. Did you wear AirPods every day?
You might be available.
Right. But it's class action lawsuit.
So this is the thing, Magic Leap. Like we talked about this, and I'm going to say it again because now that we breaking down segments for the little smaller segments on IGTV, since we won't see the likes anymore, we don't care about your opinion. This is what I think you guys should do with music. So there's an event going on coming up. I don't know if you heard about it, Toya, but Jay-Z is bringing his whole squad. The S. Carter Foundation is doing a large event at the Hard Rock. Of course they
the new
are
guitar?
because the NFL is coming up. Super Bowl,
Super Bowl.
Right. So they're doing this large fundraiser and everything. And Miss Keys is performing. and the tickets are already sold out. Somebody in my household was very disappointed, thought somehow that my clout should allow us to get tickets. Not going to happen. It's like $40,000 to get those seats. It's a very intimate performance. But this is my thing.
Who was that for? They didn't mean that for everybody. Clearly.
Them tickets is gone. Everybody want to be around Jay. So this is what I would think would be dope with Magic Leap. If Magic Leap had these headsets, right? And imagine they just took up one seat in the front row. So we have 2 Magic Leap headsets at home. We don't, but hypothetically.
I was about to say, oh, you use them?
No, we don't.
What's your experience like?
If they did this, I would buy it, right? And let's say for that one night, basically a pay-per-view, they charged $150. And for $150, somebody is sitting front row. They're watching this and they're live streaming it back. Mm-hmm. So you basically get the virtual feeling of watching this concert. Mm-hmm. So they get to pretty much be front row, and you get that whole feeling. And you're sitting there on your couch, but you're looking, and you get to turn 360, and maybe some celebrity has signed up to sit right by you, and you get to say hey to them and all that. You know how many additional tickets you can sell without taking up any seat space.
Now that makes sense. To me, like, use it for like special events. I don't know.
Even if when we had the conversation before, we were talking about doing this as front row seats or courtside seats for like basketball games and stuff.
Right.
But this would be a great experience to be able to just, and even if it was like post, maybe you don't have the capacity to stream that kind of footage live, but even post, there's fans that will want to be able to, see the sweat coming off of her and being that close. Mm-hmm. And the person would just have to wear like, one of the little head camera things where it gets all the angles.
Right.
That's all it would take.
Like the Google cars.
I don't need a virtual reach out and touch playlist for Spotify. No. I don't need that. No. But I do need to let Alicia watch Alicia Keys front row for $150. I need that. Right.
Give me the experience at a basement rate, because I ain't paying $40K. That's what's not happening. Yeah, like, I think that, sometimes we just try to do too much with stuff, and I feel like that's a bit too much. Like, I'm good with Spotify on my app, on my TV. Like, I don't need it in my eyeballs. I just don't need it there.
But Magic Leap, what we think you should do is release your notes of how you convince people to give you money in round D. After you had already taken over $1 billion.
Okay.
That should be a master class.
I was just about to say.
After we've raised $1 billion, how we convince people to still give us some more millions. That's a class I would come to.
Right. Because I'm taking Sarah Blakely class right now on self-made entrepreneurship. But that will be a great
I would take
master
that
class.
That's a master class for y'all, since these headsets ain't never going to come out once y'all sell that. So Facebook privacy mishap. So... I'm just wondering. Facebook, I feel sorry for him. He's going to be going back for this. Facebook iOS app appears to be activating the camera in the background without the user's knowledge.
What?
Yeah.
Back to Capitol Hill you go, Mark.
Right. How did you? A second issue has also been discovered. When you view a photo on the app and just barely drag it down, it is possible to see an active camera viewfinder on the left side of the screen.
Like, I need to try that real quick.
Apple says this problem is due to a bug that was inadvertently introduced to an app update released on November the 8th. And unfortunately, my apps are definitely set to automatic updates. Facebook will be submitting a fix to address these issues to Apple today. Maybe Facebook should focus on managing its current issues before jumping into offering a new thing like Facebook Pay.
Exactly. You got enough on your plate, Mark. That's all I'm saying.
Or Facebook Portal, which just seems to be a whole nother platform of security issues. Now with the
What's that? Before
Facebook
you go.
Portal?
Yeah, so share with the audience.
For all those that don't watch TV because you're YouTube users, Facebook Portal is pretty much what Wii TV was for Nintendo. You just connect it directly to your TV, sits on top, and you can communicate with people, because it's not like y'all like talking anyways, because everybody texts. You know how many times somebody called me and I'm sitting right there by my phone and I just be like, I'm on another call. I'd be texting everybody else. I just don't feel like talking at that moment. So it's just a way for, it's pretty much a Zoom on TV.
Right.
So
right, Skype.
I don't get it, because I deleted Skype and pretty much all those other apps. Like, if we can't sit down face to face, or if I don't desire to sit down face to face, I probably don't desire to see your face. Yeah. So, some positive news. Chamillionaire, is he still a millionaire? Is hoping to
Right, Chamillionaire. You said
millionaire.
It's one of them days, y'all. Obviously,
I said what I said. No, just like he is hoping to invest $100,000 into women or minority funded startup.
oh, that's what's up.
Chamillionaire, Chamillionaire, the rapper, for the songwriting. That's what he's known for. In the mid 2000s, which is like old school music now.
Okay, that's played on Hot 105. That's a South Florida
See
thing.
me
Sorry.
rolling.
Right.
It's he's very much so known in the tech and entrepreneur arena, which to this day I will let y'all know the best person that was known for that was MC Hammer. He was the man in tech, one of the first people to invest in the Yahoo. Is offering to invest $100,000 to a woman or minority funded startup. He will partner with fellow artists that most people don't know about either, classic hip hop E40, as well as Republic, to aid in the show, which will also be judged by Damon John. Oh, I didn't know this was going to be a show.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, APs, y'all got to do a better intro. Should have just said this was he making his own Shark Tank. We should have started there. Yeah. So basically, we got a minority and woman founded Shark Tank coming up.
Right. Good. That's what's up. Yay. I wonder what the business emphasis is. Like if he's focusing mainly on like tech or anything could come and pitch.
Well, it's definitely an opportunity where, because I haven't really seen like rock stars. Do we even have rock stars anymore?
What you mean?
Like rock and roll. Is rock and roll even still around?
Yeah.
Who?
Rolling Stones stayed.
That's like the living dead. All right. So basically, besides pop stars, I mean, everything is pretty much hip hop these days.
Right.
So
and rock is probably almost halfway pop, depending on, I don't know.
So never judge a book. A video of Jeff Bezos of Amazon, dating back 20 years, has gone viral with more than 1.2 million views on Twitter. The video was circulated by analyst Brian Romell. Is that what we're going?
That's what we're going with. Roll with it. Mm-hmm.
And it's from the 1997 Special Libraries Conference in June, 3 years after Bezos founded Amazon in 1994. The video has been widely shared for its direct insight on how Bezos, now the world's richest man, went about building what would become an $881 billion retail empire from scratch.
Billion.
He's almost $1 trillion company. It also shows how well he understood the internet and the importance of giving customers exactly what they want. At the time of the video, Amazon would have been a newly public company. It went public. See, now this is what I wish I would have got for graduation.
Listen.
Gift. Amazon went public in May of 1997. That was when I was turning 18 years old. And literally, that's the birthday. I was turning 18 years old, and Amazon at that time was $18 a share.
$18.
So just imagine, instead of that $100 I got, if I would have got $100 worth of share. Let me tell you something. Everything I'm saying is garbage, because I would have sold them shares by June of 1997 because I wanted to buy some shoes. But now the shares are worth $1,778.
Ooh, but imagine if you had held onto them shares.
Or if your parents said you couldn't spend them till a certain time,
right?
Or you couldn't cash them in.
Because did Amazon do a split between then and now? I'm sure they probably have.
Over.
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
So them shares would have been like bank.
Would have been good. Just like Apple was around that price in 1996. It was like Apple shares were only $20-some. But Bezos chose to start Amazon with books because there was almost an infinite selection. In the book space, there were over 3 million different books worldwide, active in print and at any given time across all languages, more than 1.5 million in English alone. So when you have that many items, you can literally build a store online that couldn't exist in any other way. We've said the same thing about art galleries. There should be a virtual art gallery to sell art online, which most galleries won't get into it. But that's pretty.
It was really interesting because when you think about how Amazon has shaped e-commerce and to know that he started out with books and why he chose books, and that's how he was able to like basically close all the bookstores. Like you really have to, one of the things that we talk about all the time is how to see opportunities. And he actually was coming from a hedge fund. So retail e-commerce wasn't necessarily something that he was doing, but he saw the opportunity, seeing what was happening online and then thinking like, what can I create to take advantage of what's happening in this space? Sometimes your ideas can come from a problem solution thing, or it could be seeing a trend and then thinking what can fit within what's already happening to blow up.
But that's also another good point. You should always know your how and know your why.
Mm-hmm.
He had a very clear why on what he was doing. And that's a lot of things in business development. Lately, I've seen a lot of people just following trends and they don't really have a why or a cause behind what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And normally, if you're solving an issue that extends beyond just making money, you have a higher chance of success.
Exactly.
So go ahead, Toya.
Yeah. So in these streets, smiling is not the answer. Sorry, try again. So as a front runner in the 2020 election, and of course the front running woman no less, Elizabeth Warren is accustomed to answering the question of how to get more men to vote for her over and over again. So at a town hall that happened in New Hampshire earlier this week, a audience member there asked, how are you going to get more men to vote for you? And she responded that she gets that question all the time, and people have told her she needs to smile more. Right. So one of the things that continues to happen, when, especially with women in politics, is being told that they need to smile more, be more attractive. You know, the whole thing that happened with Hillary. Hillary needed to change her look. She needed to do different things to be more attractive and to be more appealing to male voters. But is that truly the answer? Like, so my thing that I want to talk about this within the streets is because 2020 election, we are here where we are because of people voting for the current president administration. For what reasons? Was it because they truly saw a leader? Did they really see someone who was going to be able to do things and enact certain legislation that could then move the country forward? Or were they voting on reasons that were very superficial? Are we that superficial as a country to where smiling is what you look for in a female or a woman candidate in order to say that she's a legitimate candidate? Let's put her in office because I like the way she looks. I think we need to do better. So she's not the only one. AOC gets it all the time too. If she's not smiling, there was a commentator who said that she looks like a teenager who looks lost and doesn't quite know what she's doing. Really? So women have to smile to be acceptable? Not at all. Smiling is not the answer. Try again. So Elizabeth Warren said she's open to new ideas on how to get more male voters, but it's not going to be smiling because what's going on in this country right now is something to be angry about, and she's okay, and she owns her anger because she wants to bring solutions to the table. And that's what's going on in these streets.
So basically, they bought the old on the street when a dude walked by a female, and you should smile.
Right.
They bought that all the way into politics.
Into
Not
politics.
just trying to holler at somebody anymore. This is now into politics.
Yeah. Sit down, sirs.
As a man, I feel disgusted. Like, that is about the stupidest thing I've heard in a long time.
Yeah. Tell me to smile. Tell me to
why
smile.
not just address that her Medicaid for all, she has no way to pay for that plan? Like,
yeah.
Why can't that be the reason?
And one of the things that she was saying is that she believes that voters will make the right decisions for the right reasons. Not quite sure about that. But
so are people trying to tell me
smile is still not the answer?
That if Hillary didn't have on those pantsuits, that they would have voted for her?
That's what people were saying. That she was, cold and standoffish, and she wasn't approachable, and she just looked very stern and dated and old, and she wasn't Instagrammable, right? She didn't have the bodycon dresses on, or the makeup and the feminine look.
But those 3 sizes too big suits that Donald Trump wear. I mean, Donald Trump suits fits the guidelines of everything not to do with a suit from GQ. Especially
today. It'll be one thing if this was 1992. But this is 2019.
He got like the double crease at the bottom. The jacket is too long. The tie is too long. Just
right. Ain't nobody telling him to smile more. Cause
And we're going to let him just slide with that whole thing that's on top of his head, whatever it is.
that comb over is real.
But she needs to smile.
She needs to smile. Right. And so that's why people are like, we going to end up with Trump again. So, long story short, get out and vote for the right reasons, not because somebody needs to smile.
Yeah. So, now the funny thing is, because we've covered so much with technology, but more so with the music and entertainment and movies, we really don't even have nothing in this section for the first time. And how many shows have we done, Dante? 80?
80th show, y'all. Woo woo.
Our 80th show. We don't have anything to talk about entertainment. So I thought I would take the measure to ask a question.
We doing impromptu stuff, y'all.
In South Florida, where do you go frequently to talk, chill, and eat good food with amazing drinks? I had other prerequisites, but I'll leave those off for the sake of opportunities to get more answers. So, Toya, where do you go? And guys, if you're watching, I need your comments fast. I know there's a slight delay with live streaming, so I'll wait. But Toya, where do you go? Now, the prerequisites that I didn't put was a place that you feel is culturally influential, a place that you feel you can go to network and actually make money, and a place that you normally want to go to more than once a week. Those are the things that I didn't include.
So
in South Florida, what would that place be for you?
I don't really have a place, but the reason why is that I don't know. Like when you're talking about me personally, right? So I don't necessarily like to go to the same places a lot of times. We like to hop and do different things. But when you're talking about as a family, we have our staples. That's because we need kid-friendly places where Takari can be his best self and not disturb other people. So that's like Bar Louie's, that's Duffy's, that's loud sports bar type places with big booths where he can stand up and do his thing. So yes. So if you're talking about places that can go eat, chill, drink, talk, socialize, it's like sports bar type vibes. So where you can kind of like come as you are, sit down, TVs, entertainment, there's something going on and the food is good.
So the only place I got a double answer for was Lorna's. That's in Miami Gardens, right, Dante? Studio 183, Gigi's Music Cafe, The Wharf.
Okay, that's downtown.
Boatyard, Tomorrowland, Miami.
Tomorrowland's cool. I like Tomorrowland.
And Citadel. So we're between food halls and soul food spots, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now those are places to just chill. Now, if you had money coming in to Miami, money, I'm talking about good, long money, where would you take them to talk about money? Or where would you take them to show them the opportunity of making money in South Florida?
That would be like some really nice restaurants. Like a Red Steakhouse or, you know, just one of the usuals. You could go to like True Lux or something along that line.
So this is what we're going to do. We're going to move our filming for next week.
Say what?
Next week, we're going to go have lunch. And actually, I'll say the first 5 people that show up, we'll treat them to lunch since we're going into our 5th season. So the first 5 people that show up at Sips, which is at 1951 Northwest 7th Street Northwest 7th Avenue, which is known as Converge Miami. A lot of people know that as CIC, and also where they do Venture Cafe on the first floor. First 5 people to show up at Sips, we're still going to film at 2 o'clock, so it'll be like a brunch. Come and sit down with us. We want to have a talk about the state because that's going to be our last show. We're going to take a mid-break. We're going to spend all of December planning for our 2020 year. 2020 is going to be big for us, so we're going to start putting together proposals, take a break, a mental reset. So we're going to treat some people to lunch, and we want to sit down and have a conversation. So that's going to be on November the 20th, 2 p.m., Sips Eatery, and that is with Gail Hamilton and sorry, her name is not Hamilton anymore. She's married. But Gail and Uche. Gail is also a strategic partner, founder with Junction 2027. So we want to bring y'all down there. We're just gonna have lunch and let's sit down and talk. But the reason why I bring this up is South Florida, we got to do better as collaboration. And I guess we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna close out with that. But I got something I need to say about that. But they did bring up something about Miami, and since we're talking about this, and we have an upcoming meeting with Beacon Council, and we're talking about economic development and how to improve Miami, they had an article that was in Yahoo, and it says the money needed for a good well-being and happy life. And from what I'm seeing, this can't be life, or obviously I'm just not happy. According to a Yahoo article, the research was done to cover the following: salary needed for emotional well-being, salary needed for life evaluation, salary needed to be happy. In the article, the salary needed for Miami for emotional well-being was $82,000 to $102,000. The salary needed, that was for the emotional well-being. The salary needed for life evaluation, I don't even understand what that means.
Yeah, what is that?
But that was $130,000. Now, to be happy, that salary was $143,000. So it's a lot of unhappy people in Miami. So I just want to know how and where, besides being a lawyer or being a successful entrepreneur, where are you making $143,000 at in Miami?
Yeah, because most of the jobs here are in like tourism and hospitality.
And how do you need $80,000 just for emotional well-being? I understand rent is high, but it ain't $80,000 high. If you got $80,000 coming in and you have a spouse or somebody else, you should be buying a house somewhere. So
well, like house, car note. Some people have student debt.
Ain't nobody trying to pay Sally Mae. She ain't never getting that money. So how have we put happiness to a dollar amount, or even well-being? How is well-being? Are we talking about being able to go to the doctor? Are we talking about being able to just eat? Being able to have a gym membership? I don't know. I mean, like,
no, I think well-being is like emotionally, you're like feel like your life is secure, right? So your bills are paid. You're not stressing out about meals. You're not stressing out about making sure you have food in the fridge. Your car note's paid. Like, you're pretty much like everything is in its place and paid, and you're not concerned about it.
So this is why
I think that's about like 82. That's very true.
This is where I'm going to have to agree with Instagram.
And you could travel.
Right. So if you want to travel a lot, when you go to places, take 30 pictures, post 2 every month. It'd make it look like you went somewhere every month. This is why I agree with taking the likes away from Instagram. Because 10 years ago, nobody knew what you were doing in the middle of the day.
And they still don't, like, for me, because I don't post that much.
You choose to expose that. Like, what if your well-being is the consideration of other people flaunting or even your life? Somebody made a post today, and I was like, you know, it's kind of the equivalent of the people that sit around and claim they got haters. You ain't got haters. You ain't doing nothing for people to hate on. You just have a lack of motivation, so you need
sprinkle the salt in the wound.
Ain't nobody hating on you. Don't nobody even know what you're doing. Just do what you got to do. Like, I don't know. So Miami, I'm wondering what we should have got from our associates is what was the decline of that cost once you get to Fort Lauderdale. I wonder how cheaper my happiness is.
Right. 40 to 60. You got emotional well-being. I don't know. I know. That's a good question though. And as you move up the state, right? So then Palm Beach, what's that look like?
Oh, so basically by the time you get to Ocala, you get
right, you about 20. And you like, I got this house on the lake.
$25,000 a trip to Winn-Dixie and a high school football game.
Right, we at Walmart in the parking lot pimping.
Pure happiness.
We don't mean it. Y'all good up there in Ocala.
Well, first of all,
Y'all living the life.
I'm from Panama City. I mean that. That was life. It ain't nothing else to do. So Applebee's was everything.
Ooh, what you say? Tallahassee.
Back in the day, Applebee's was the truth.
And the chicken was good back then, but that chicken is not good today.
And yes, guys, we purposely did not cover anything about Popeye's chicken sandwich. It is what it is.
What? It's still going on? What's happening? Now you done said it. What happened?
Well, now they're trying to figure out where the actual value comes from. And I think it came from the tweet that the girl put out when it said, y'all good. But then Wendy's made their tweet. But if y'all really want to know the success of that chicken sandwich, it's just pure economics. It's a $4 sandwich that they probably making for 75 cents.
Yeah.
They making a killing off the sandwich. That's what it is.
Right. That margin is real.
You can think whatever you want to think. They not worried about dropping that 12 piece for you for that spicy chicken no more. That sandwich is giving them the margins that they want. They making bread. Now, a lot of people were trying to shame some people, and they were having the conversations. Instead of being in that line, you should have been in the stock line. Y'all need to quit saying stupid stuff to people when you're not a financial advisor. Popeyes is a part of a restaurant group. Just because Popeyes is doing good doesn't mean the stock of that restaurant group was going to go up. The stock for that restaurant group was around $66 to $62. It's actually been on a decline for the last 6 months. Buying into that stock right now is not a win, and every time they launch this chicken sandwich, they're not seeing a spike in that because they have 4 other large chains that's under that restaurant group. Mm-hmm. Quit trying to sound smart because you're making yourself look dumb.
Right.
I know that was harsh, but I'm tired of quit trying to shame people because you think you know a little bit, like you don't know, and then y'all don't want to do the real research. And I don't know. I mean, you know what? Go ahead, John. You can drop the graphic now. I'm just gonna go with this one. Yeah, someone need to hear this. Like, y'all not really that bright, and y'all still doing top level research. Y'all ain't no better than the people that y'all talking about. Y'all pull some articles and then y'all read it. Like, dig deeper. Apple News will give you a whole bunch of content. Quit getting everything off of Facebook. Call some people. Like, get to know the information. Get other people's opinions. Get other people's feedback. But don't be trying to shame people just because you feel you know a little bit. I wanted that sandwich, and I still bought some stock that day. And yes, we was in the line on a Sunday before they opened up because we didn't want to wait in the line, and we got 2 sandwiches, two original, 2 spicy. You still didn't make more money than me on Sunday because guess what? That stock still hasn't went up.
Right.
Quit trying to shame people in this process of educating people.
Because what you don't want to do is get in the stock market, and then you lose that money, and then you real pissed.
And
big pissed.
How are you trying to put this? 4 sandwiches is $16. That's a $66 stock. Guess what? Somebody that eat at Popeyes twice a week probably can't afford a $66 stock. So who are you shaming?
You're not just buying one share. Like, you need to buy at least a
whole bunch.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to sit there and wait. And if you go look at it over the last year, then they're not in the bull market. There's a lot of bull market stocks out there, but that restaurant group and the ticker for people that want to look it up, the ticker is QSR. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's the difference between you looking at Questlove's name and saying his name is Love versus knowing his name and his whole thing might be Question Love. Quit trying to sound smart. It don't matter. He's still just a dope. He's a dope drummer. It's just a good chicken sandwich. And people been fighting in Popeyes. They not just fighting over this sandwich. If you ever been to a Popeyes, they was fighting when that damn spicy chicken wasn't coming out fast.
So what
enough.
You're saying is, it's just that cameras are on them now.
Yes.
So it's being recorded.
Everybody's paying attention. It's just like they said back in the day. Racism isn't new. We just got camera phones. So they fight at Wendy's. They fight at McDonald's. Somebody got hit with a whole blender at McDonald's. Ignorance is everywhere. It didn't come with that sandwich. And the thing is, y'all reposting it and you reposting it like they made money off of the same antics that you taking on social media, the fear of missing out. You just got to be included in every conversation. Sometimes you can just shut the hell up. I make at least 7 posts a day that never get posted. I literally type them out and I delete them because I'll be like, you know,
Good
what? I don't need to
intentions.
say this because it don't matter. because it's not going to change it. And the people, when I feel like I need to affect one person, I might call my boy Sean in Atlanta. I might call Jason in Orlando. I'll call somebody that I'm either mentoring or working on business with, and that'll be my good thing for the day. It doesn't have to be you trying to be Nostradamus on Facebook with your analogy of somebody else's post. You aren't that person. I'm not even that person. I just happen to have cameras, and I happen to have a dope friend that know how to live stream, and I got an amazing friend that's also running the business. So we just give you a little bit of the information we collect. But we are just as dumb as you.
Okay. Learning something new every day.
As we sit here and read this stuff, we are figuring it out on the fly. We are just great poets that know how to speak without a beat.
You better say that again.
Great poets that know how to speak without a beat. But we are no smarter than you. Quit trying to look so damn smart on social media and go make some money. But somebody needs to hear this.
That's Mike.
That's Toya.
And this is Tech Beats and Bytes.